When a person has not yet discovered the radiant kingdom hidden within their own heart, life becomes a long road of leaning on others to tell them who they are. One praise lifts them, one criticism destroys them, and one harsh word can echo for days inside their mind. But when a soul awakens and begins to feel even a drop of divine love from within, the balance shifts. The world no longer has the power to shake them so easily. They begin to walk with the quiet confidence of someone who has touched something eternal inside themselves. Yogananda often taught that love of the self is the foundation of spiritual freedom. Not a selfish act, but the recognition that God's presence shines through your very being. To love yourself in this way is to become untouchable, not through arrogance, but through inner liberation. If you enjoy this video, give me a like, comment below about your thought, and don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss the teaching inspired by Yogananda. Let's tune in. Many people go through life believing that the world is constantly measuring them, judging them, or waiting to discover their weaknesses. They live as if they must defend themselves from every imagined threat. But the real prison is not outside. It is the insecurity that has taken root inside the heart. When a person is disconnected from their true self, they interpret even neutral comments as attacks, and even gentle advice as criticism. But spiritual life begins when you realize you are not your fears, your memories, or the opinions others carry of you. You are the soul, the immortal spark of divine consciousness. And once you start to feel that, you become free in a way the world cannot explain. To love yourself in the way Yogananda spoke of is to anchor your identity in something deeper than moods or circumstances. It is to feel the quiet joy of your own inner presence. It is to know that you are enough before anyone's approval, before any success or failure, before any recognition from the world. When someone insults you, they are speaking to the image they hold in their mind, their own projection, not the truth of your being. The soul cannot be stained by words. The soul cannot be diminished by opinions. The soul remains untouched, eternal, a flame burning in the silence of God's love. But this understanding does not come automatically. It grows through practice, reflection, and the willingness to turn inward. You have to learn how to speak to yourself the way a wise friend would speak. You have to learn to calm the storms inside you instead of waiting for the world to become peaceful. You have to recognize that the roots of emotional pain often lie in forgetting your true nature. And you must be willing to return again and again to the inner sanctuary where divine presence whispers, "You are mine, you are loved, you are enough." Many suffer because they have made the world their mirror. They look to others to reflect their worth back to them. But worldly mirrors distort. One person praises you because they need something from you. Another criticizes you because they are carrying their own wounds. Another remains silent because they are distracted by their own battles. And if you let these shifting reflections form your identity, you will always feel unstable. Yogananda taught that the only true mirror is meditation, where the mind becomes calm and the soul begins to reflect its own light. When you sit in silence and feel the presence of your own consciousness, you discover something that no insult can touch. You discover the astonishing truth that you are already whole. Self-love is not pride. Pride depends on comparison. It needs to feel better than someone else. The love Yogananda taught is rooted in humility, because it comes from recognizing the divine in yourself. You love yourself not because of your achievements or your talents, not because of your appearance or your personality, but because you sense the presence of the infinite within you. This kind of love dissolves insecurity, because insecurity is always based on forgetting the truth of your being. When you remember who you are, the sharpest words become like pebbles thrown at a mountain. They make a small sound but cannot move the rock. But even when you know this, life will still present you with challenges. Someone may insult you out of anger, jealousy, or misunderstanding. In such moments, the untrained mind will react instantly. It will want to defend itself, to fight back, to prove something. But the awakened heart sees more clearly. It knows that reactive energy only drains the spirit and binds you to the ego. An insult is like a test. Will you forget yourself, or will you return to your center? If you truly love yourself, your first response is not to attack or withdraw, but to breathe, to remember, and to choose peace. You do not have to accept an insult as truth. And you also do not have to resist it with hostility. You simply recognize that it does not define you. Imagine the mind as a lake. When someone insults you, it is like a small stone thrown into the water. If your lake is restless, full of waves, the stone causes splashing and turmoil. But if the lake is calm, the stone sinks with barely a ripple. This is the power of inner stillness. This is the power of loving yourself so deeply that outer disturbances cannot shake you. Yogananda emphasized again and again that calmness is the divine shield. The person who keeps their peace keeps their power. And the one who loves themselves keeps the key to that peace. When someone criticizes you, pause for a moment. Not to evaluate whether their words are true or false, but to reconnect with yourself. Feel your breath. Feel your presence. Feel the simple fact that you exist, that you are conscious, that the life force flowing through you is sacred. When you rest in that awareness, the sting of the words begins to fade. You realize that the pain was never in the insult. It was in the part of you that believed you were small, fragile, or unworthy. Once you stop agreeing with that inner voice, outer voices lose their power. To love yourself is to protect your inner light. It is to refuse to hand over your emotional well-being to people who do not understand your journey. It is to remember that everyone is fighting invisible battles, and sometimes their pain spills over onto others. When someone insults you, they are often revealing more about themselves than about you. Their words rise from their own fears, frustrations, or insecurities. And when you understand this, you begin to feel compassion rather than resentment. Compassion is not weakness. It is strength born from clarity. It shows that you are no longer tossed around by the world but guided from within. Yogananda often spoke of the power of divine love, not as an emotion but as a state of consciousness. When you cultivate that love within yourself, you feel supported from the inside. You no longer seek validation from people who cannot give it. You no longer fear rejection because you no longer reject yourself. You no longer cling to the opinions of others because you have discovered a deeper truth. The more you love yourself in this sacred way, the more invisible your weaknesses become. Not because you hide them, but because you stop feeding them with fear. Insults lose their target when the ego dissolves. The soul cannot be insulted. This inner transformation allows you to walk through life with a peaceful heart. Challenges will still arise. People may still misunderstand you, criticize you, or judge you, but your response will be different. Instead of shrinking, you will expand. Instead of reacting, you will observe. Instead of taking things personally, you will see them with spiritual clarity. You will know that every moment is an opportunity to return to the truth of who you are. And the truth is always empowering. You are a child of the infinite, clothed in human experience but rooted in divine essence. The journey toward loving yourself begins with small steps. Sit in silence each day. Place your hand over your heart and feel your own presence. Speak to yourself with kindness. Remind yourself that you are worthy of respect, compassion, and peace. When negative thoughts arise, do not fight them. Simply redirect your attention inward, where the quiet flame of your true self is always burning. Over time, that inner light will grow stronger, and you will begin to carry a confidence that does not boast and a strength that does not need recognition. You will become whole from the inside. Yogananda taught that each human being is a soul temporarily experiencing a human body and mind. When you identify only with the outer layers, your appearance, your personality, your mistakes, your achievements, you live in a fragile state. Insults penetrate you easily because you are trying to defend something that is not permanent. But when you identify with the soul, you become like the sky. Clouds may pass, storms may come, but nothing alters your essence. The sky remains vast, open, unchanged. Life will give you many opportunities to practice this truth. Every time someone speaks harshly to you, you can choose whether to collapse into hurt or remain centered in the soul. Each moment becomes a chance to deepen your inner freedom, and slowly you develop a natural resilience. Not a coldness, not emotional numbness, but a spaciousness that prevents small things from disturbing your peace. You become gentle but strong, humble but unshakable, compassionate but self-respecting. To love yourself is to become your own sanctuary. It is to discover that you do not need to chase love, because love is already the core of your being. Once you feel this, an extraordinary shift happens. You stop taking insults personally, because you no longer rely on external voices to define you. Instead, you walk through life with the quiet dignity of someone who knows their own soul. And this dignity is not rigid or defensive. It is peaceful, radiant, and full of inner joy. The more you cultivate this inner love, the more harmonious your relationships become. People sense your calmness and are drawn to it. Conflicts soften. Respect grows naturally. And even when others disagree with you or misunderstand you, you remain at peace. Why? Because your worth is not at stake. And when your worth is not at stake, nothing they say can truly wound you. This is the essence of Yogananda's message. Love yourself as a soul, and you become immune to insult. Not because you build walls around your heart, but because you open your heart to your own divine nature. Once you see your own light, darkness cannot deceive you. Once you feel your own presence, the world cannot shake you. And once you truly love yourself, you walk through life free.